Hello, good afternoon to you and welcome to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from Benab House, Atomic Junction, Medina. My name is Sherifatu Ayuba. Coming up in the headlines, CAF makes fresh appeal for more dialysis machine. Inflation rate for July 2024 declines to 20.9%. And in some international stories, World Health Organization declares Mpox outbreak a global health emergency. Details of the stories comes up shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now the news in details. The July 2024 Food Security Monitor report reveals a troubling escalation in food insecurity across Ghana, with the rate of insufficient food consumption surging by 5.77%. This increase is largely driven by the ongoing cost of living crisis, fueled by persistently high inflation, a weakening currency, and soaring fuel prices.
Recent high inflation, a weakening currency, and soaring fuel prices have inflated the cost of essential commodities, particularly staples such as maize and rice. This trend mirrors earlier projections from the World Food Programme in their February 2024 report. According to the WPF's February 2024 country brief and preliminary March 2024 analysis, an estimated 1.05 million Ghanaians were expected to experience food insecurity between June and August 2024. Contributing factors include climate change, low agricultural prices, inadequate infrastructure, and limited access to education, compounded by Ghana's vulnerability to global market shifts, especially in the case of imported rice. The report also highlights that while the rate of IFC remains stable in most countries between June and July, Ghana, Nigeria, and Uganda saw increases of 5.77%, 3.98%, and 7.5% respectively. Zimbabwe, on the other hand, reported a 5.45% decrease. On a year-over-year basis, the majority of countries have witnessed an increase in IFC, with exceptions between Mozambique, Rwanda, South Sudan, Uganda, and Zambia, where current levels are lower than those recorded a year ago. Furthermore, the report identifies several nations as food insecurity hotspots, where more than half of the population faces IFC, including Burkina Faso at 56.6%, Mali at 69.1%, Niger at 82.6%, and Nigeria at 51.5%.
The management of the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital has renewed its call for more dialysis machines as a shortage is severely affecting the hospital service delivery. Officials say the only government hospital in the Ashanti region with a dialysis machine center is struggling to meet the growing demand for dialysis treatment. This appeal comes shortly after the Ministry of Health acquired 30 additional dialysis machines for the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital.
The Public Relations Officer at the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital, Kwame Frimpong, revealed that of the 7 dialysis machines currently available at the hospital, 3 were purchased using internally generated funds, a situation he said has placed a significant strain on the hospital's finances. He urged the government to expedite its efforts to provide additional machines to alleviate the pressure on the hospital's resources. There have been calls to upgrade the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital, the nation's second biggest referral center in recent times. In June this year, doctors at the oncology unit stopped working, demanding the repair of the linear accelerator system, which has been out of service since October 2023, making cancer treatment difficult. The officers, however, called off their 3-day-old strike after receiving promises that their demands would be met. The hospital's management echoed this sentiment during the health minister's visit, highlighting the high cost incurred in repairing the LINAC machine. Health Minister Dr. Bernard Okoboy, during a recent inspection of the facility, assured that government would speed up efforts to upgrade the hospital.
The minority in parliament says it will use every means possible to oppose any attempt by the President Akufo-Addo to fill the Supreme Court. On Tuesday, during parliamentary proceedings regarding the appointment of 2 appeal court judges nominated by the President for the Supreme Court, the minority opposed the vetting. They argued that it was unconstitutional and therefore unnecessary to replace a judge due to an impending retirement. At the end of the vetting, the committee voted, resulting in a tie 7-7, thereby dismissing the motion. Speaking in the media, a member of the appointment committee in Parliament, Ayariga Mahama, explained that the National Democratic Congress has always been against the appointment of more justice to the Apex Court and will not relent in its effort to oppose new appointments. According to him, this was the NDC way of ensuring that in the future the judiciary can deliver judgment freely and fairly. The Bawku Central MP said the minority believes that there should be an opportunity for future government to also fill in vacancies in the court to ensure fairness in the administration of justice at the highest level. Still in politics, the Electoral Commission has promised to conduct a thorough voter exhibition exercise and provide political parties with credible register for the December election. This follows the National Democratic Congress demand for the EC to immediately release the provisional voter register for the December 7th general elections ahead of the exhibition exercise.
The Director of Elections for the NDC, Dr. Boama, had in a post on Facebook attributed the delay in the release of the register to the EC's incompetence in a deliberate attempt to provide a substandard register to political parties. Boama warned that the delay has left the NDC and other stakeholders deeply concerned that the posturing and incompetence of the EC and its IT department can plunge Ghana into anarchy if not remedied immediately. Speaking to the media in Accra on Wednesday, August 14, Dr. Serebo Kweku, Director of Training at the EC, refuted the claims and asked the NDC and other stakeholders to bear with them and help them go through the exhibition process to rectify all challenges. He indicated that the political parties should expect the Commission to provide a quality final register at the end of the exhibition exercise.
The national chairman of the opposition National Democratic Congress, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, has declared that the party will not be signing any peace declaration as the country approaches the upcoming elections. Speaking on a sister station in Accra, the NDC regional chairman expressed skepticism about the effectiveness of such agreements, citing past experience that did not yield any results.
According to Johnson Esiedun Ketia, Preventing violence requires proactive measures rather than symbolic gestures. He said, if violence is allowed to brew, the signing of peace cannot prevent it from happening. He criticized the focus on signing peace agreements after tensions have already escalated, urging authorities to address the root causes of potential violence before it spirals out of control. Mr. Asiedu Nketia, affectionately known as General Mosquito, pointed out that despite the involvement of bodies like the Council of State and the Peace Council in previous peace declarations, the 2020 election was still marred by violence. He insisted the focus should rather be on the root cause of the violence. The NDC national chairman also highlighted concerns about the illegal recruitment of about 10,000 individuals into the security services, warning that this could be a brewing source of unrest. In the 2020 election, the NDC protested the results, describing them as flawed, and alleging the state security forces were used to intimidate voters in their strongholds. The National Election Security Task Force reported that 5 lives were lost during the 2020 general elections, with 61 recorded cases of electoral and post-electoral violence across the country, including 6 incidents involving gunshots.
Away from that, the year-on-year rate of inflation for July 2024 has declined to 20.9% from the 22.8% recorded in June this year. This represents a decline of 1.9 percentage point from that of June, which was at 22.8%. This is the 4th consecutive time that the inflation rate has dropped this year. Addressing a news conference on Wednesday, the government statistician Samuel Kwabena Enim said the decline was the result of a fall in both food and non-food inflation. Food inflation declined to 21.5% from 24.0% in June 2024, while non-food inflation also fell to 20.5%. Inflation on imported items also dropped to 15.6% from 17.5% recorded in June 2024. In some international stories, the World Health Organization on Wednesday, August 13, 2024, declared the ongoing Mpox outbreak in Africa a global health emergency. World Health Organization convened its emergency Mpox committee amid concern that a deadlier strain of the virus, clade IB, had reached 4 previously unaffected province in Africa, a strain previously contained to the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Following a verbal meeting to discuss the severity of the outbreak with independent experts on the committee on Wednesday, the WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus declared a public health emergency of international concern, the highest level of alarm under international health law, also known as FAKE. This is a status given by WHO to extraordinary events that pose a public health risk to other countries through the international spread of disease. These outbreaks may require a coordinated international response, according to the organization. The Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention declared the outbreak a public health emergency of continental security the day before, the first such declaration by the agency since its inception in 2017. According to the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, More than 17,000 cases and more than 500 deaths have been reported in 13 countries in Africa since the beginning of this year, with the highest number of cases, more than 14,000, in the DRC, which reported 96% of confirmed cases this month. Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, is a viral disease that can spread easily between people and from infected animals. It can spread through close contact such as touching, kissing, or sex, as well as through contaminated materials like sheets, clothing, and needles. Symptoms include a fever, painful rash, headache, muscle and back pain, low energy, and enlarged lymph nodes. For decades, the disease had largely been found in Central Africa and West Africa, but it also began spreading in Europe and North America in 2022. WHO previously declared the spread of Mpox a global health emergency in July 2022 and ended it in May 2023.
And now in sports, Ghana's Women's Premier League champions, Hazakes Ladies, experienced a setback in their quest for a spot in the CAF Women's Championship League as they suffered a 3-0 defeat to Nigeria's Edo Queens in their second game of the WAFU Zone B qualifiers.
Following a goalless draw against Burkinabe's side Omnisport in Tencel in their opening match, Hazakes Ladies hope to secure their first win against Edo Queens. However, the Nigerian team proved too strong, scoring 3 goals over the course of the match to seal a decisive victory. The defeat leaves Hazakes Ladies with one final game in the qualifiers against AS Guard National. With the current standings not favoring them, the Ghanaian champions face a challenging path ahead as they strive to advance to the next stage of the competition. The Ghanaian champions are hoping to make it to another edition of the CAF Women's Champions League.
And that is how we bring the bulletin to an end. Log on to our website www.benamultimedia.com for more news. I'm Sherifatu Ayuba. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Thank you.